44 centimeters in 36 hours. That's what this time Chennai's Perungudi and Meenambakkam nearly received, compared to 34.5 centimeters rain in 24 hours in 2015. Here we can show a boat bringing a family with little children from a marooned area. We come to you from Jayanagar at Velacherry. These boats have been deployed to bring people who live around half a kilometer away in low-lying pockets where people have to wade through knee-deep to well above waist-deep waters. And here an elderly gentleman is also being rescued, and this is the challenge for authorities in low-lying pockets like Velacherry, Pallikaranai, Perumbakkam, pockets of Annanagar, Manali and Perambur, where still people have to wade through knee-deep to waist-deep waters. And here you have the NDRF teams ready to deploy their rafts to rescue people. And people are also disappointed that there is no single line central command for them to seek help. Now what happens is, every time a fishing boat comes, every time these boats, NDRF boats come, they haphazardly go and ask for their help. Whereas last time in 2015, they said there was a centralized helpline number they could share, and in a systematic way, communities or individuals were rescued based on the situation they were in. And that's why they want that kind of system to be put up. Right now, the 1913 helpline is completely crashed. Nobody is able to reach them. Authorities say they have deployed 300 boats and that they are working on a smoother system. In terms of the power supply, 80 to 80%, 85% of the city has power supply now. But pockets like this, where still there is knee-deep to waist-deep waters, authorities say they cannot take the risk of switching on the power supply because that could lead to electrocution. We should also add the Tamil Nadu government has initiated or launched aerial drop of food from last evening, and this morning and this afternoon again there will be sorties to drop food. That could bring in some relief, but the main concern for communities who are marooned in high-rise buildings or apartments in inundated areas is that they don't have electricity, they don't have even the minimal water required for their daily chores, and that pushes them to come out. Some also come for buying medicine, food items. They never expected this kind of a deluge would keep them indoors for a long time, so that many were in that sense not prepared for a long haul like this. But authorities say they're doing their best, and they're expanding their relief operations. 5,000 workers from other districts have also come here to Chennai to assist authorities with relief work. If everything goes well, authorities say already the core part of Chennai is dry, waters have receded, but in other areas things will turn better in the next 48 hours, they say, because the outflow from the Chembarambakkam lake also has reduced. There's no forecast of any heavy rain, so these waters would naturally find their way out, and then they'll start pumping out waters in these pockets with giant pumps. So till then, it's going to be a nightmare for these communities. Authorities say they're doing their best. The public want a centralized, organized system, especially for those who need help to be rescued from their homes. Divya.
Right, Sam. Of course, the airport that shut down had impacted 1,000 flights in the country. A power supply that remains cut off is as far as, the areas which are inundated. However, 80% of the power supply seems to be back.
That's right. As we speak now, in fact, last afternoon, yesterday by noon, 80% of the power supply is back. Only in areas where there is heavy inundation, authorities are helpless because switching on the power supply could lead to electrocution. So in those pockets, waters will have to recede first, and then authorities will deploy pumps to make sure that area is safe to turn on the power supply. And many are also raising questions over the efficiency of the 4,000 crore stormwater drains built by the ruling DMK in Tamil Nadu, saying that had it been efficient, this wouldn't have happened. But authorities point out the city had received unprecedented rainfall, 44 centimeters in 36 hours. Again, another boat of the NDRF is being deployed to rescue people. Hopefully this should help many stranded communities in these areas to come out faster, to reach to safe locations. Possibly we'll go with them sometime and get you reports of the plight of those people there. But the government, of course, argues that it's these.
If you could, just compare the preparedness from 2015, the lessons that were learned, that were applied and implemented this time around in order to make sure that the damage was minimal.
Well, in 2015, it's a different scenario. Chennai was hit, in a sense, a double whammy. Number one, there were very heavy rainfall, and also the lake was, in an unexpected way, let open. The discharge from the Chembarambakkam lake was left open. The waters, the release had touched a lakh cusecs, and that actually flooded the entire city. The scale was much massive in terms of the damages, in terms of the flooding. But this time it was just the heavy rainfall, because the waters from the Chembarambakkam lake was released in a more systematic, in a more regulated fashion, so that they don't really flood the city. But this time the rainfall received in the city area itself was 44 centimeters, and no amount of infrastructure in terms of stormwater drains, authorities say, could handle this quantum of water. But in terms of preparedness, this time the government was caught unawares, because the Met forecast had only said extremely heavy rainfall in Thiruvallur district, but for Chennai they had given very heavy rainfall. But the Cyclone Miachung chose to stay in the Bay of Bengal for a longer time, triggering very heavy downpour. But what people are concerned about is the way the administration can respond even more in a better, organized, systematic way, particularly as part of their relief operation, so that they don't have to run from pillar to post to get help, to make a call either for supplies or to help children, elderly people come out of their homes asking for boats.